of state. Okay. So the world changed forever after the Revolutionary War, and obviously we can understand that. The United States is created. But not only did the world start to change, okay, not only did the world start to change, simply put, U.S. society started to change. Now, you can write down that essential question. It's also in your handout if you want to save yourself writing it down twice. Okay, but let's take a look at this. New ship, the world has changed. The United States is about 250 years old, about. Okay, it hasn't been here that long, but yet has had a major impact on the world. Okay, go ahead and turn the lights back on. All right, so let's take a look at the question there. The main idea to look for. Back to your handout. Okay, you did the work there, so just take a look at this. The question is, how did the American Revolution change American society? Okay, and that's what we want to look at. Can anybody think of one thing that changed as a result of the American Revolution? One thing that changed as a result of the American Revolution. We definitely want to think about this and think about the short answer question on your test. What started to change? Kristen, can you give me something? What started to change? Certainly. So we definitely want to think it changed for women. Yes. Changes for women. Also, we would want to think changes regarding African Americans, especially slavery. Okay. So we definitely want to think of those two groups. You could also say this was a turning point for society. Now, go back to your regular notes. What do you see there on page 1 or page 2? What would be a couple of things? Now, I realize I kind of just touched on it, but give me something. What is something that changed first page or second page? Some of you got this far. Give me some. What changed? Status in any way, shape, or form. Go ahead. Okay, definitely education. Rights for women, yes. What else do you see there on page 1 or 2? What else? Good. Okay, yes, the expansion of voting rights. Very good. What else? We're missing a big one there. Not that those two aren't. Go ahead. Okay, yes, northern states starting to end slavery. Yes. Make sure we have that also. Make sure you're making a list here. I'm giving you the list. Okay, this goes in your regular notes. Don't daydream on me. Stay with me. Now, was there all of a sudden equality after the war? Is a question. Was there equality? What do you think? No, there was not. But there were definitely some significant changes. So we said voting rights. Oh, don't forget religious freedom there. That's down at the bottom address there. You're looking at some religious freedom. That makes sense because that's why a lot of people came here in the first place. Okay. Religious privileges started to change. Religious rights, I should say. Women's rights was said. Very good. Slavery starts to end in the North. And make sure you word it that way. I don't want you to think all of a sudden all northern states ended slavery. But started to if people reach certain ages. And also, we definitely want to think government changed, of course. And I think also we should say the American identity started to change. The American identity started to change, how the Americans viewed themselves. And the key point here is they did not view themselves as English subjects anymore. Okay? They didn't view themselves as subjects of the king anymore. Unfortunately, the last group up there, Native Americans, didn't win anything out of this. Okay, and we know that, of course, from what's coming later on. But nonetheless, we do see some changes to American society in all of these groups. Complete changes? No, for the most part. Changes, though, nonetheless, yes. Okay, let's go to your handout now. Again, you already have this on your handout, so let's take a look. The colonists were aware they were creating something new. This is up at the top there. They created a republic. What is a republic? What is that one? Gabe, what do you got? What's a republic?
A new form of government.
Say again?
New form of government.
It is, yes. Anybody have specific? Go ahead.
A form of government with powers in the citizens who can vote.
Yeah, so make sure you know the key to the republic there is voting, yes. And make sure you also have something along the lines of representation. You elect representatives, whether it be president, Congress. How about this one? What did most states start to do after the revolution? Ethan, do you have that one? Help, Aiden. Yes, very good. A list of rights pertaining to the Constitution, yes. The revolution not only increased support for constitutional government, it also led to the expansion of what? You can fill in the blanks there. Good. Voting rights, yes. How did almost every state make it easier to gain the right to vote? Anybody get that one? Don't. Yes. White male taxpayers, and make sure you have along the lines there, you did not have to own property. Okay, you did not have to own property. Okay, let's fill in the blanks here. Who can fill in the blanks? Emily, you got that one?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
The new push to end state funding of churches began in Virginia, where Baptists led a movement to abolish taxes collected to support the Anglican Church. In 1786, Governor Thomas Jefferson pushed the legislature to pass the.
And do you have it?
I don't have that.
Anybody have the part? Go ahead. The Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, and you got to know that. The Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom. And if you look at it, it's in the next question. Okay, the answer is in the next question. Okay, so a lot of things are changing. Religion, groups of people, etc. Okay, things are really starting to change. And it's going to change forever. Okay, this is big. But I want you to understand, launching a new ship of state means something different, something big is happening. And obviously, writing the U.S. Constitution is just that. Doesn't mean they always agreed, though. See, what happened is the war was over, and all of a sudden they said, now what? Now what do we do? Well, Hamilton surely had a plan, but the problem was, so did everybody else. Now what do we do? And how are you going to agree on this? Think about right now in this room, if we could all agree with each other on what we're going to have for lunch. If I were to ask, what type of music do you listen to? Favorite color? And those are just basic things. But imagine on deciding how to write a new government. Okay, for the last part of the period then, go over to page 11 of your handout. And you see those quick review questions? Try those. Okay, if you have to use a little Google, go ahead. And then watch, the link is on Canvas for today. Just start watching that link, okay? And see if you can fill in the blanks, okay? So for the last 7 minutes, see what we can do with that. Okay. See if you can answer those questions. The review questions. And that second question, did the law of the land don't write constitution? Because that's not the right answer. The video is under Liberty Film Conclusion.